Happy Friday, everyone. It's April 24th, 2026. The air is starting to smell like fresh cut cedar, and well, probably a little bit of ozone if you've been running your laser as hard as I have this week. Welcome to the TigerDen.
You smell like a campfire and burnt plastic, Tiger. It's a very specific brand of Maker Musk.
It's the scent of progress, Alex. Though I did have a little incident Tuesday where I tried to speed dry some stabilization resin with a heat gun and ended up making a blob that looked remarkably like a melted bowling ball. There's a fine line between artisanal texture and I should probably call the fire department.
Just another day of paying the landlord for that prime shop space. Speaking of melting plastic, you've been geeking out over the new filament tech. Give us the lowdown.
Look, if you've done any multicolor printing, you know the poop problem. You're trying to print a simple red and white sign, and by the time it's done, the floor of your printer looks like a confetti factory exploded. You end up throwing away more plastic and purge blocks than you actually use in the model.
It always felt so wasteful, like buying a whole loaf of bread just to eat the crusts.
Exactly. But Bamboo Studio just dropped this update that's basically a massive nudge toward multi-nozzle hardware. They're finally admitting that trying to shove 5 different colors through one hole is like trying to change clothes while people are watching. You're going to make a mess. They're pushing multi-nozzle setups to mitigate that waste.
And what about the recycling side? You mentioned the Creality M1.
This thing is dangerous for my marriage, Alex. It's a compact filament maker. You take your failed prints, all those spaghetti monsters and support structures, and you grind them up to extrude your own rolls. I spent 4 hours yesterday trying to blend safety vest orange with glow-in-the-dark blue just to see if I could make toxic sunset filament.
And?
It looks like a bruised avocado. But the point is, the loop is closing. We aren't just consumers of plastic anymore. We're the refiners. And if you want to go pro, the Atom Form Palette 300 is promising 12 nozzle color. 12! It cuts and splices the filament with the precision of a Swiss watchmaker.
Okay, move over, Picasso. Let's talk about the guys who are actually out there building the world. The trades, the forecast for 2026 is looking, well, they're calling it cloudy but stable, which sounds like a weather report for London.
Stable is a beautiful word when you've spent the last 3 years feeling like you're riding a roller coaster with loose bolts. For a while there, if you were a contractor, you couldn't quote a job on Monday because the price of copper, or PVC, would double by Thursday. It was pure chaos.
Every plumber I know had a permanent twitch in their left eye.
Rightly so. But the data is showing a normalization. Lead times are finally making sense again. You order a furnace, it actually shows up when they say it will. It's not the frantic gold rush growth we saw post-pandemic, but it's a steady simmer. It's a great time to be a pro because you can actually plan a schedule without having to account for a global shipping catastrophe every other week.
And there's a massive influx of cash into training, right? 43 million?
It's huge. Nonprofits are pushing to get 50,000 new boots on the ground. If you're listening to this and you've been thinking about getting that HVAC certification or leveling up your electrical license, there are grants sitting there with your name on them. It's like the universe is finally handing out the scholarship we should have gotten in high school instead of being told we all had to go get degrees in theoretical basket weaving.
I think my degree was in practical apathy, but I see your point. If the trades are stabilizing, how does that affect the little guy? The maker mogul selling custom cutting boards out of their garage?
That's where the business side gets spicy. I was looking at what the big marketing minds like Russell Brunson are doing in 2026. He talks about the value ladder. Most makers I know, and I'm guilty of this too, we just sell the thing. We make a table, we sell the table, end of story.
What's wrong with that? You make a nice table, I give you money. Everyone's happy.
You're leaving the meat on the bone, Alex. Think bigger. A value ladder means you have a $20 entry point, maybe a high-end wood conditioner or a custom branded coaster. Then you have the $200 nightstand. But then for the real fans, you offer the $1,000 custom design consultation. You aren't just a carpenter, you're an expert.
So sell the expertise, not just the sawdust.
Precisely. And the Instagram algorithm has completely flipped. It used to be about the beauty shot, the pristine finished product with a succulent sitting on it. Now, people want the struggle. They want to see the moment you realized you cut the 10 1/4 inch too short and you had to do that little "I'm an idiot" dance around the shop.
Oh, I have video of that dance. We could make a fortune.
Please don't. But seriously, show the sparks, show the shavings. People buy the story of the object. They want to know the person who bled over their coffee table. It makes the piece feel human in a world that's getting drowned in AI-generated junk.
Speaking of human-made, I'm looking at your DIY list for the weekend. We go from a nightstand to a catamaran? Tiger, that's a bit like saying, if you can toast bread, you can probably manage a five-course French gala.
Hey, progress is incremental. Look, that $800 savings nightstand project is the entry drug. It uses pocket holes and edge banding. If you use the high-end plywood, the stuff that actually has a decent veneer, and you're careful with your iron-on banding, you can make something that looks like it came out of a boutique in Soho for the price of a decent dinner and a movie.
It's the fake it till you make it a furniture.
Totally. But then you've got these Japanese woodshop upgrades. This is for when your shop starts looking like a junk drawer that's been put through a blender. It's all about simple plywood joinery. No screws, just clever slots and gravity. It's about creating a flow. When your tools have a home, your brain has more room to actually create.
And the catamaran? You're actually suggesting people build a boat in their backyard?
I didn't say it was a weekend project. Building a scratch-built catamaran is an odyssey. It's a masterclass in fiberglass. If you've ever wanted to learn how to make something structural, lightweight, and most importantly, waterproof, there's no better teacher than the fear of sinking.
The fear of sinking. Is that the official TigerDen motto for 2026?
It should be, but the guide I saw was incredible. It breaks it down into sections. You aren't building a boat, you're building a series of small, manageable hulls. It's the ultimate mogul move. Taking a project so big, it scares your neighbors and actually finishing it.
So, what's the big takeaway for this Friday? Besides the fact that I should probably steer clear of your toxic sunset filament?
The takeaway is this. The world is getting faster and the tech is getting weirder, but the trades are holding the line. Whether you're using a 12-nozzle 3D printer or a hand chisel from the 1940s, the goal is the same. Don't just build things. Build a life where you actually know how your world works.
That's deep for a guy who just admitted to making a resin bowling ball earlier this week.
Hey, even the captain of the ship has to sink a few rowboats to learn how to navigate.
All right, folks, that's a wrap. Go get your hands dirty, don't set anything on fire that isn't supposed to be, and we'll see you back in the den on Monday.
Get after it, crew.